Alright, for the next step, I need this. I need to be able to have a UV snapshot of this area. Okay, that'll give me scale. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go Polygon, UV snapshot. Then I'm going to browse out and place this within my folder structure. I'm going to call this Building 1 Snap. Okay, and save that out. It's going to be a TIFF, so I make sure it says period TIF after it. And the rest is okay. Make sure this is TIFF. This must be highlighted in object mode in order for this to work. Okay. Now in Photoshop, I can go File, Open, and open up that building snap. Okay, just to put things in perspective. Okay, this is a 2048 map. This is a 2048 map. Can you see the size differentiation? Okay, let's pretend this doorway right here represents a real doorway. If I made the texture right on top of this, obviously one brick would cover over the entire door. Okay, so the scale is quite off. This is important to keep. So I'm going to save this, and you can save these if let's just say this is a good habit to get into, or a hobby, making tileable textures. Okay, again, commercial versus non-commercial, of course, but now okay, let's tileable textures. I'm going to call this brick 1. And I'm going to leave it as a Photoshop because that way I have a lot of play here. Okay. Later on, I can make it into TIFFs or TGAs or whatever I need to. Alright, so this is 2048 and this is 2048. So what I'm going to do is a little trick. I love doing this. So I'm going to go Edit, Copy Merge, Edit, Paste. I guess I already had that, but the next step is Image, Image Size, and now I have to do a little math. Okay, so the brick is way too huge. Okay, so this is where things change depending on what brick texture you have, depending on how big it is, depending on how and what map. But you can play around with this as much as you want. You can't screw it up. Okay, I'm going to say that roughly it's 4 times bigger than what it should be. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down to 512 by 512 and hit OK. And then I'm going to take and go Edit. Well, I marquee selected that. Then I go Edit, Define Pattern. Then I'm going to go over to this one, make a new layer, take the Fill tool, and choose the pattern I just made. And then I'm going to fill it in. Now, let's look at the scale compared to that. So I was wrong. It's not 4 times, it's even bigger than that. You can see even the brick made out to be this small is too big for the map. So, on to the next stage where I undo this. That way it's big again, and then go down even further to the next texture size, which is 256. So 256 by 256, I have to then define the pattern again. And then I have to go back into here and go Edit, Paste, or fill it with a new layer. Picking the new pattern now. And you can see that fits. It's about the same size. Now, there is a huge problem. The color variation makes it a moire pattern. You can see the moire pattern. Okay? It's not hard to fix. You just have to think. Okay? So what we're going to do is fill another layer with the same brick. Okay? And then I'm going to go make this a little bit of an opacity drop, and then go filter, other, offset. Okay, we're only doing a horizontal offset, and what I want to do is make it so there's no pattern. And you can see patterns emerging every once in a while. What we want is no pattern. There we go. Okay, then we're going to set this back up to 100%. Well, what happens now is I have that eraser I have back when, and if I just go like this every once in a while where there's a pattern, it will get rid of those patterns, okay, and even it out. And once in a while you can just touch this and it'll magically get rid of most pattern. Now this does take a while. You can spend all day on this. And usually what I do this a couple times. Okay, so once I get done doing this one, what I'll do is I'll duplicate the one below it and then do it again. Okay, so I'll do that in a few areas and then take this one, duplicate it, put it on top, filter, other, offset, and I'm just going to move this around a little bit. And now you can see that it really does destroy that pattern quite nicely. Alright, so that's your mission, is to keep doing this over and over again, and you're going to offset it every time until there's no pattern emerging. It takes about, I would say, a good 30 minutes to 20 minutes to kind of mess around with this enough where you won't see the pattern emerging anymore. And then in the next video, I'll kind of show you other ways to do it, but get it to the point where you can barely see the pattern emerging. Then I'll show you how to use the clone stamp tool to repair it more. Alright, so see you in the next video.